Well, today is day 4 in Haiti, day 3 in the hospital, and I'm going to be talking about day 3 in Haiti, day 2 in the hospital. I know it gets a little confusing. We got to the hospital, and I had the patients who I had seen the day before that needed dressing changes, and wound care and debridement. And so we went ahead and looked at these patients and made rounds on the patients in the morning and made them NPO. And we took the patients up to the operating room where we did under conscious sedation. We did debridements. I actually spent a large part of the day with one of the French surgeons, Dominique, helping him and watching him do some muscle flaps, which I had not done before. These were called reverse sartorius flaps. It's basically a muscle that you hardly use in your calf and causes no functional disability to take. And it's you're able to rotate it down, and it lives off of a pedicle that the last blood pedicle, so you can come down and you can fill in a defect in the bone where it's infected, either the tibia and the mid tibia down to the ankle. We actually went all the way down to the ankle, and on a case today, which I'll talk about in the next recording. So that was a full day in the operating room between the 3 debridements and dressing changes and assisting Dr. Dominique from France. A really nice doctor. He was very helpful in instructing and wants to teach and wants to be friendly. And he actually has about the same attitude as the rest of the French doctors, as most of the American people here have an attitude about the French medical staff, that they're snotty, and so it's funny to hear him talk about his fellow Frenchmen like that. Anyway, we were just about to leave, actually, I'm forgetting one major thing that I did yesterday. The owner of the hospital, Renaud Savan, he was going to take a ride up to the higher elevation and around the town for a couple of errands that he had. So for about 3 hours, I and a emergency room physician from El Paso, Texas, and her husband, who's a ICU nurse, ER and ICU nurse from El Paso, Texas. The 3 of us, we went with him, and we went on this trip up the mountain. We went around town. We saw a lot of the damage that was there, which you'll see some of the pictures of. We went up the mountain to about the 3,900-foot level, and we had a chance to see most of Haiti and Port-au-Prince from up high on the mountain. It's absolutely magnificent country up there. You would never know that there was an earthquake, except that there was no power up there. And we went ahead and we looked around. We took some pictures. On the way back, we stopped at his brother-in-law's house, Alex. Now, Alex has been just absolutely fantastic. He and Alex are married to a pair of twins, and they've been friends since boyhood. And Alex is an engineer, and also he is one of the he's a national sports hero in that he has won international motorcycle, and car racing championships. And he's, like I say, he's a local sports hero. And we stopped at his house, which really calling it a house is an understatement. It was really a mansion. It was about 12 acres of the most absolute gorgeous gardens that would rival the Bronx Botanical Gardens in the quality of the range of the plants that they have. They have plants from Asia, they have plants from all over, from Africa, they have plants from all over the world. Just absolutely beautiful. I took some pictures of it. There was one plant that particularly, the flower was just absolutely gorgeous. It was a hanging bell, and you'll see the pictures from that posted separately. And his house was just absolutely magnificent. I understand that the house has been in his family for 3 generations, and that it's pretty much the way that it's been for about 80 years, 80 to 100 years. We then finished going down, and we stopped at a supermarket on the way back to the hospital. And when in the supermarket, I got some fruits, apples, bananas, tangerines. Tangerines seem to be really big here. And then after that, we went back to the hospital. We were at the hospital for about half an hour, and then ready to go out to dinner. And all of a sudden, this police car pulls up in front of the door of the hospital, opens the door, and basically shoves out this patient who is essentially unconscious and who has no blood pressure, and they drive away. They don't even wait. They did not even wait. It was just absolutely amazing how they didn't wait. And they just drive off, and we went out and picked up this guy and brought him into the emergency room. He had no obtainable blood pressure. He had a Glasgow coma score of about 6 or 7. He was disoriented times 3. We put in a Foley. He had 15 cc's of molasses in his bladder. We put in 2 IVs and ran in about 2 liters of fluid. We got his blood pressure up to 80. He was a little more responsive. We found out that he had been drinking, and he had been hit by a truck and just left on the side of the road. So the police came and found him and brought him here to the hospital. Anyway, we went, and this is the part that really was somewhat bad, and we wanted to transfer him that night to another hospital, and we could not arrange transfer. And so the director of the hospital here said, just put him in a bed, comfort care only, IVs, and we'll see if he's still alive in the morning, we'll transfer him. I did the initial exam on him, and his belly was just absolutely soft, and I was concerned about him because of the dehydration and the state that he was in. But then in the morning when I saw him, he had gotten 8 liters of fluid. That's 2 gallons of fluids, of IV fluids, and it was difficult keeping his blood pressure over 80. His abdomen was distended and firm then. I was sure that he had either ruptured spleen or a torn liver. He was complaining about severe abdominal pain and pelvic pain. His pelvic was firm, but I went ahead and ordered us a chest x-ray, a pelvic x-ray, and an abdominal x-ray. He had some fixed loops of bowel. He had a pelvic fracture. It was a anterior ramus fracture that was perfectly stable, and the ultrasound showed that he had a laceration to his liver with a hematoma on the dome of the liver. We didn't really see that much free blood, but we transferred him shortly after that to the French version of the good ship Comfort. And I found out later that that was some blood, and he stabilized and was doing well. But it's just absolutely amazing that we basically just left him there overnight. After that, we went out to this French restaurant, and we had a really good, there were only 8 of us left. The rest of the people had left, other than the 8 who were taking care of this trauma patient. We went to this really nice French restaurant. We had a fantastic meal, which I blogged about in my written blog. And so that's the end of day 3 in Haiti, which it's amazing. It seems like I've been here for 2 weeks, not for 3 days. And day 2 at the hospital. I'll be talking to you tomorrow.